Hello everyone and welcome back to another Outriders video. Today I'm going to go over my Technomancer build with some mentions about doing things a little bit differently when you're playing solo or in a group, and also some mods that will come in super useful when you're leveling up. Just before we get started though, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up to help me out, and come over to Twitch, twitch.tv/DJTICKLE, where I could be streaming live right now. Now let's get on with the video. So first of all, we'll go and have a look at the mod vendor, and we'll just talk about some very useful mods that you'll get when leveling up. Obviously these are going to be the tier 1 mods. So straight away we're going to look at all of the blighted rounds, because this is where all of your damage is going to come from. Pick up the sleeve. While the skill is active, killing shots grant you 30% extra bullets in your mag. Hopefully should make your gun with unlimited bullets and that you never have to reload. Definitely one to be picking up. No pain, no gain should be no use whatsoever. This is one to avoid. You should never really be running out of them bullets. That mag should always be unlimited. Spur mag is super useful in case you do come across an enemy or an elite that is tough. You can get a full extra mag of your blighted rounds. And critical analysis, really good. 15% extra critical hit damage when using your blighted rounds. All ones to definitely keep an eye out for when you're leveling up. Some other ones that I think are really good are for the turret. You could use the ice component one. The turret now inflicts freeze damage instead of toxic, and that's on the blighted turret, and it just makes it really good. The cooldown on this turret is really low, so it's definitely worth adding this in there early on in the game, as soon as you have it available. Apart from that, other tier 2 mods that come on purples are going to be ones that you're going to want to look out for, but I'll mention them because all of them are pretty much in my build. So now let's take a look at the build. So what you're going to notice first of all is the stats. Firepower, long range damage and close range damage. You're going to want that on all pieces of equipment. That is really your optimal roll for anything that you get. Do remember, if you get something low level, keep hold of it. Resources are really easy to come by later on in the game. You'll be able to upgrade it to a god roll, even if it's a green. So from green to purple, just keep hold of them. They're very easy to get them upgraded to level 50. So we'll start with the mods. Captain Hunter, really good. Toxic Lead, again, really good. There's no tier 1 mods at all. They've all been replaced. So Toxic Lead does replace the tier 1 mod that gives us ammunition back. That's what you're going to notice throughout all of this. And what I'll do is I'll mention which ones I swap out for group play, because sometimes group play is really laggy if you're not the host, and Toxic Lead doesn't always work 100% of the time. Look at the chest piece. We're going to use Euthanizer. That deals 25% more damage against enemies inflicted by Toxic, and because we're using our rounds, Toxic is always on. Again, with Radical Therapy, a tier 2 version, deals 15% more against enemies afflicted by Toxic. So a whole load of extra damage there just on that one piece. Now we'll take a look at the legs. We're going to go Kingslayer and Bloodlust. Critical hits on elites increase firepower for 32k for 6 seconds, really nice. And Bloodlust, killing shots increase firepower by 17.5k, and that stacks up to 3 times, really good. Now with the gloves, I've got Sharp Eye, killing enemies while aiming down sights, grants up to 16k firepower for 20 seconds, and that stacks up to 3 times, again a really good mod. Emergency Stance, it doesn't work correctly right now. It actually gives you the protection all of the time once it's been activated, so do look out for this at the moment. What you need to do though is basically prep for when they fix it, and I'm going to go with Damage Absorber because that basically increases my armor by 52k and the resistance by 10%. So obviously I'm getting extra resistance by putting extra armor on, but also getting an extra 10% as well. That's always on. I don't actually have to do anything to proc it. But you could go with Mitigation from Death. That's actually going to give you much more resistance when you proc all of it, but you've got to kill. So if you get swiped from behind and you get caught out, that could be game over. And that's not really my play style. So up to you which one you would rather run. Then we're going to look at the feat. We're going to go with Splash Boost. This is absolutely amazing when you're solo and you just basically aim down sights, shoot an enemy in the middle, and you will see all of the group take damage. It's absolutely amazing. But if I'm in a group, I sometimes swap this out for extra mag, because you've got to sacrifice a little bit of damage because the lag in multiplayer can be absolutely terrible, and I don't want to lose my rounds, because if you look at your skills, it's a whole minute before you're going to get your rounds back. So take this one out at this point if you're in a group and you're not group leader, and put yourself on extra mag just to make sure that you're always covered. When I'm using crit stack, we're always aiming for crits, whether it be on the brood mother where you've got to shoot the rib cage or the heads on enemies. The critical shots build up a 5-second stacking effect that grants us 3,500 anomaly and 7,700 firepower, and it stacks up to 5 times. So again, another huge firepower boost. And that's going to be it for the gear. And that's going to be it for the mods as well. If you want to take a quick look at my stats, it should come out something like this. But this makes the game really easy in solo mode, and it'll put your top DPS as well in many groups. What we'll do now, we'll take a look at my weapons. I've got a video on how to get a really good roll for this one. This is actually the pre-order bonus, the Hell's Rangers pack. I'll drop the link in the description down below. And then I run an LMG just for safety, because that's a huge mag with them toxic bullets. So if you're in a group and things aren't working out because of lag or people being underpowered or whatever the situation that you're in, this is basically my safety net that helps me out. Now, running bone shrapnel, it comes as default on this gun. And I put killing spree on, definitely the top DPS mod for a gun. But on this one, unfortunately, I've not been able to get that combination. But I have got anomaly enhancement, which gives me a really nice single target firepower boost. So I do cover best of both worlds. So what I'll do, I'll throw some gameplay up at the end of the video for you to have a look at it. By all means, comment down below if you've done things a little bit different, or if you managed to push that DPS even higher. But what we'll do is we'll just quickly go over some other mods that you could run instead of the splash boost if you want to more concentrate on single target damage, which I suppose is going to be more effective if you're not running solo. If you're in a group, you might want to do this. You could perhaps put on dum bullets. As you can see here, it increases our weapon damage by 10%. Or you could go down here to personal space, and that grants a 15% bonus to close range weapon damage. So 2 other mods to take into consideration, just depending on what kind of content you're running. If somebody else is running splash boost, you might want to run them as well, so you're a little bit more effective on bosses and things like that. There is also other things to take into consideration when it comes to what skills we're running. The blighted turret, that's going to give us some extra DPS. When we look at our tree, we get 40% weapon damage for 10 seconds. And I'll come back to my tree in just a second. So we've got that on for the moment to maximize our DPS. But if you need the help from the cryo turret because you find the freezing enemies is super useful, you could also replace the splash boost mod with something that's going to give you damage to frozen enemies. And that comes in useful when I was doing Eye of the Storm solo. That extra damage boost really did help me out because the boss is non-resistant to the freeze. You could perhaps take something like that as well. I'm not sure which one it is. There it is. Deal 25% more damage to enemies that are afflicted by freeze. And that's a nice combo because everything's multiplicative and it just makes your damage go up that little bit more. And it helps you out with some ad control if you're getting overrun. Just to take a look at our skills, obviously we're going to use the blighted rounds. We really don't want to run out of these as there's a minute cooldown on them. The blighted turret or the freeze turret, depending on how situational we are. And cold snap is a get out of jail free card, just to help us if we're getting overrun. When we look at my class tree, I keep this the same no matter what variations I'm running, whether solo or in a group. I'll quickly flick through the nodes so you can see them. So we've got weapon damage, weapon leech, armor piercing, crit damage, some vulnerability, which is very important. And then some more effects to vulnerability, which again, very important. Decreasing the range, give us some extra damage. Because you never really know what range enemies are going to be at. Increase of weapon damage, range again. Toxic boost. More weapon damage. Increasing our assaults because we're all about using the assault rifle. More damage. Armor piercing. Bit of a glass cannon perk here. We're going to take some more damage, but we're going to put out a whole 20% more. Increasing the long range damage, which goes really well because we've decreased it over here. Anomaly power because why not with nothing else to put into. Doubling the mag size, which we kind of have to do. Boosting our toxic damage. And then giving us that super boost when we use the turret. The blighted turret, that is. So that's pretty much it for the build. I will leave you with the gameplay. Again, like I said before, be sure to hit that subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. Comment down below and let me know if you've run perhaps an anomaly build with Techno. I would really like to look into that, maybe using some of the legendary pieces. And come and check me out over on Twitch, twitch.tv/DJTICKLE, where I could be live right now. Come and say hi, let's talk builds, and let's talk Outriders. Thanks for watching everybody, and I'll see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Who the hell are you? Falling for this painfully obvious trap. What a bunch of clowns. Creatures. That feral maniac captured them before. I think that's the last of the monsters, but that maniac isn't too happy about it. Not a bad shot. Maybe he'll finally shut up now. The pot is ours.
Outrider detected. Access granted.